on my way now. I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now.
Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. If you happen to be new around here, my name is Trevor and this is Anna. We are the Delightful Travelers. Make sure to click on subscribe and that little bell to follow along on our adventures. And if you're not new, it's nice to see you again.
So many people are flocking to move to Halifax. We've actually received lots and lots of messages from people that are either thinking about it or planning on doing it in the next year or so. So this video is going to be devoted to you guys. It's all about how great Halifax is and why maybe you should think about moving here. So right now we are smack dab in the middle of downtown Halifax. We're actually on Citadel Hill at the moment. You can see the famous clock tower behind me and basically the whole city. So most of this video is going to be centered and talking about Halifax, but a lot of what we talk about is also going to apply to all of Nova Scotia as well.
I actually feel like I'm on top of the city up here. What I'm not sure about, and I should know this, I've lived in Halifax for a very long time. Is Citadel Hill the highest point in Halifax? Someone will let me know, but I really should know that. As you can see, the views of the city up here are pretty superb. You can see the harbor off in the distance, and of course you'll see all the high-rise buildings right downtown here.
So if you visited here like 5 or 10 years ago or from here and haven't been here in a long time, you might have a hard time recognizing this city. Still lots of old historic buildings, kept the charm around, but there's lots and lots of new big high-rise buildings. Basically this entire skyline is pretty new. There's lots of development happening. It continues to happen. I'd say in the next 5 years it's going to look completely different again. And just going along with like the population thing and people wanting to move here, I think I recently read that Halifax is one of the fastest growing, by population anyway, cities in Canada.
So why is that? We find that very interesting. I think one of the reasons is Halifax is a big enough city. I mean, really it's a mid-sized city, but if you want an urban lifestyle, it's all here, right downtown. It's an amazing city. Also, it's small enough that if you want to get into the communities and have that neighborhood feel, you're gonna get that as well. In fact, we find that you can't even walk around Halifax without seeing the same faces. We often run into people that we don't know, but we all know we saw each other before. So I don't think I've ever been in here before.
Yeah, so this is like a National Historic Site. It's probably one of the #1 things that tourists come to do when they come here, and I think I stepped inside here one time and I've never done a tour.
Yeah, I can confirm that I've never been in here before. It's kind of embarrassing, but when you live in a city, it's not too often you go and do the touristic things within that city. But hey, we're stuck here now with COVID.
It's actually really, really cool in here. I wonder, maybe in the summer we'll do like a touristic things to do in Halifax and come in and do this properly.
So let's talk about the food scene here in Halifax. Honestly, it is out of this world. In fact, in all of Nova Scotia, it's pretty spectacular. Our food is top notch. We've been close to what, 50 countries?
About 50 countries.
And
yeah.
we hold our food here just as high as to a lot of other places we've been in, a lot of other countries.
And I think as we started to travel more, we realized just how good the food is here.
We have everything. That's what's good about Halifax. It's very diverse. It's not like we just have fish and chips like a lot of people think. We have everything from sushi to Thai food to Indian food, you name it. It is all here in this city.
But if you love seafood, this is definitely the place for you.
I've recently gotten so into scallops. I used to just be so-so about them, but oh my, lately I've been eating them quite often, and whew, we have some of the best scallops in the world. So we just came down to Grand Parade Square. It's smack dab right in the heart of the city. You might be able to see the town hall behind us in the background here. It's pretty quiet today. It's Monday. It's also winter, and of course we're still in the middle of a pandemic, guys. So yeah, COVID is happening.
Yeah, but speaking of the pandemic, we can't really talk about life here in Nova Scotia without discussing the pandemic and COVID-19 and how well the Nova Scotia has done through all of this. There's been lockdowns, but we've been very, very strict. And we've mainly been able to live our lives, I'm not going to say normally, but I think a little bit more normally than the rest of the world has.
Yeah, definitely most of Canada. We've dealt with COVID quite well. I think at some point we might make another video about that, just kind of explaining it, because a lot of people don't know that are not from Canada. They just see Canada as a whole, and haven't been doing great with COVID, but here on the East Coast in our little Atlantic bubble, we have been doing phenomenal. So it's definitely attracting people.
I think so, and I also think the pandemic has made people kind of think about their lives, where they want to be, and for people that maybe moved from Nova Scotia or know how well it's doing, they've really thought about moving back or moving here.
So I think one of our absolute favorite things about living in Halifax and Nova Scotia is the fact that you can go from being right here, smack dab in the middle of the city, to right here. Welcome to Musquodoboit Harbour. If you're wondering where that is, this is only 40 minutes from the city of Halifax where we just were. So you can get to this very fast. This is the ocean, believe it or not. We're on an inlet. We'll show you more of this as the day goes on. But that's the thing about Halifax. You can get to the ocean pretty much in 10 or 15 minutes if you want to. Today we decided to come a little bit further, but it's absolutely gorgeous out here, as you can see.
So we're actually staying out here for a few days. We've booked this home that's right behind us for I think 3 nights, a little mini getaway. We've actually never been to this part of Nova Scotia before. It is only 40 minutes outside of Halifax. I still can't believe some of the stuff we've never seen in Nova Scotia, and still so much more to see, even though we've been here home for the last, what, like 8 or 9 months or something like that?
Time.
Yeah.
So we'll give you guys a tour in just a few moments here of that place because it's very unique for the area. But we need to talk about the cost of living in Nova Scotia and Halifax in general.
Yeah, I think we'll just kind of touch on it right now. Maybe in the future, sometime soon, we'll do an actual video about all the different costs and how much everything is. But it's relatively inexpensive compared to other places like Toronto.
Yeah. Especially other major cities in Canada.
Yeah.
So I think some people, though, would say that don't live in cities would say, you know, Halifax and the surrounding area is expensive. So the thing is, the prices are going up, but you've probably heard by now, if you live in Canada, that the real estate market is just on fire
crazy.
here.
We saw a story the other day about a house that went for like $250,000 over asking, and that's just unheard of around here. It's crazy.
But get this, so we just wanted to go on MLS and just check out the prices for land around here and where we are, which is on the ocean.
Yeah, and like we said, 45 minutes outside of Halifax, not in traffic.
And what do we find them for? 50?
I found land like not far from where we're staying, not on the water, but close to it, for like $50,000, which really is not that bad.
So that makes me really understand why people are moving from abroad to come here, because to some people, this is very, very affordable.
Yeah, if you're European and some places in America, this just would seem really, really cheap.
So Anna just said she heard a stream, I guess.
Well, yeah, I heard some running water, and I came over here, and there's a very cute little stream over here.
It's kind of neat because it's you can see it's like icy there. It's almost like a little icy trickle down. I don't know if I'd call it a waterfall, but
a little mini waterfall.
An icy little waterfall. So this is kind of neat. The place where we're staying, you can see there's a floating dock here, and then, well, there's a fire pit.
There's also kayaks here, so like in the summertime, I feel like everywhere we go, we're being like, in the summertime, it'd be really great. But in the summertime here, you could go swimming out in the water, on the dock, go in a kayak. Speaking of the water, why don't we get a better view? So welcome inside. Let's give you a quick little tour of our place that we're staying. This is the living room area. Of course, the view is the big thing, but we've got a sofa here, some nice chairs, the TV over there.
Let's just take 1 second to admire this view again.
Yeah.
How about that?
One of the things I loved about the description maybe it was in the instructions to this house on Airbnb. It said something about the perfect TV is looking out the windows or something like that. But if you actually want a TV, there's a TV here.
We'll never turn that on.
Yeah.
So this way we have the kitchen. Look at the size of this and look at all that light.
And It's amazing. So much light in here. If you guys continuously watch us, you probably know we always talk about spaces with a lot of natural light. This one is amazing. But the kitchen is also super amazing. Great for like a rental. It's got pretty much everything. I even found like a milk frother for making lattes, that kind of thing. It's got everything you ever want.
Probably noticed that our laptops are here at the island. This is the perfect workstation. There are plugs there, and of course you got this amazing view. Don't worry, we've been cooking and eating here as well, but this is kind of our perfect place.
And can I also mention this light fixture? I've never seen anything like it, but when you turn it on, it kind of lights up in the middle. It's really neat.
All right, if we go this way, we have the bedroom. It's very big, very spacious.
It is. You got a king-size bed here. Feel very spoiled in that. There's also another like kind of workstation over here if you wanted to work in the bedroom. Huge walk-in closet over there, and then of course the bathroom is right behind me.
You're missing something very big.
Oh yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
This is probably the biggest canvas print I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I wonder where that is at. I wonder if any of you guys can tell us. Do you think
I feel
that's...
like I've seen that.
Is it Nova Scotia?
No, definitely not. I wish I was in Nova Scotia.
Let us know, guys.
So you might have noticed from the outside this place is actually bigger than what we even showed you, because you can rent it like what we just rented or booked, or you can rent the whole thing, and the other side has just a door over on the other side of the room that has 2 bedrooms and another bathroom, so you could have really 3 bedrooms.
This would be great in the summer. Imagine coming here with a bunch of friends. You have the patio. There's an amazing beach down the road. We'll get to that a little later. But I think right now we're gonna head outside and just kind of check out what's in the area here. All right, so we've just come over to a trail here in Musquodoboit. Is there an official name
I
for
think
this?
it's called the Musquodoboit Trailway Trailhead.
So it's very beautiful. The thing about Nova Scotia and Halifax and the surrounding area is we just have so many things like this. There's nature everywhere.
Yeah, if you're into hiking or just out for walking in nature or bird watching or any of those things, there's so much of it in Nova Scotia, just like everywhere. Look what we just came across. Literally like 5 minutes into the walk, there's this really cool old, I guess what would it be, like a train bridge or something like that. Goes over the Musquodoboit River that you can see here. Definitely a good place for some Instagram photos. Speaking of which, if you're not following us on Instagram, we're just delightful travelers on there as well. Go look us up, give us a follow. But yeah, this is pretty cool. We were just looking up how many lakes, this obviously isn't a lake, but how many lakes are in Nova Scotia? Because something you've probably noticed in our videos is that we're never really far from the water. The ocean almost entirely surrounds us. We're this close to being an island, but it's also tons and tons of waterways and lakes. There's 3,000 of them to be somewhat exact.
This place is really neat. One thing I wonder is, can you fish here? I mean, you probably can't right here on this bridge, but it's super neat. Take a look at this. The lifestyle out here, guys, is just so slow paced. I mean, even compared to Halifax, which is just a mid-sized city, but yeah, I like this a lot. We don't get out of the city enough. We're starting to a little bit, but if you're coming to Halifax, you need to get outside the city and explore.
So just to elaborate a little bit on what Trevor was just talking about with like a slower paced lifestyle, I think that's a big appeal of why people want to move to Nova Scotia or move back to Nova Scotia. It is just a very different lifestyle than a lot of places, especially if you're coming from a really big city where everything's super fast paced, you're busy all the time, you're in traffic all the time, that kind of thing. Here it's just a little bit slower, people are more laid back, there's more time to do stuff like this and really enjoy the outdoors and just enjoy life a little bit.
All right, so we just came over to this really cool railway station right in the middle of the village. As you can see, there's all these trains, like really old trains.
It's a museum now, yeah. But I think it's closed today, but still, neat.
Yeah, it's very cool. Now, we need to talk about the community in general. There's quite a bit here.
Yeah, so we're in the village of Musquodoboit Harbour. Pretty sure it's a village. Don't think it's a town.
Village.
But there's a few things here. Well, obviously there's this railway museum. There's walking trails. There's a beach not far away. Maybe we'll go there later. There's a bakery, some cafes, some places to eat.
We'll have to talk about the community itself. When you get out here, back to the slow pace of life, and just people in Nova Scotia are extra friendly and warm. Yesterday, we wanted to get some craft beer, and we found this little place right off the road. It is basically like a shack. So we go inside, and there's nobody there. It says call the number if you want someone to show up. But
the door's open.
The door's open. We're in there on our own, and there's this cute little dog that eventually shows up, and the owner of the business as well. And we got this craft beer. We ended up talking to him for a good 25 minutes just about life in general.
Yeah, super friendly guy. And I think you'd find that in general just when you come to Nova Scotia, you go into a local business.
Yeah.
People are just really friendly. They like to chat. And even you'll notice in Halifax, if you're a tourist, you have a map open, often people will stop and ask if you need directions or help.
All right, we are saving the best for last, you guys. We are about to head to what we hear is one of the most beautiful beaches in all of the province. Get ready to see Martinique Beach. Well, welcome to the beach, everyone. We are now on Martinique Beach. This is our first time ever here.
I know, I can't believe we keep saying this over and over again. But yeah, first time ever here. It's also Nova Scotia's longest beach. I think I read that it's 5 kilometers.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but some viewers have been telling us that throughout the Nova Scotia series. Now, we should say it's the middle of March, not even. So this should give you an idea of what the weather is like here.
Yeah, and it's as you've seen, it's pretty warm, or relatively mild, I should say, not warm, but a little cooler on the beach. It's a little windier, but still, for March, it's pretty nice.
Well, it's 5 degrees today, 5 degrees Celsius, that is. So I think a lot of you watching that are not from Canada and just don't know what it's like to be in Nova Scotia, I don't think you'd expect these kinds of temperatures for March.
Yeah, I actually read a headline yesterday saying that February was one of the warmest Februaries in history, I think.
I like that. That's what I like to hear. Just like we're on a tropical beach, isn't it?
So a little bit more about the climate. I'd say it's pretty moderate. So the winters in general don't get too cold, especially compared to a lot of places in Canada. Like if it gets to be -10 or even -5, we're freezing. Like it's really, really cold. That's not that normal, but once in a while in February you might get a week or two of it. Thankfully this year there wasn't too many cold days. We don't get too much snow either. Once in a while you might have a really bad winter, but in general, just a few snowstorms that you have to clean up after. And in the summertime, in general, it's not too hot. It's probably like an average temperature of 22, something like that. You can definitely get hot days or cooler days, but in general, it's pretty comfortable.
So the last few summers here, we've been very lucky. It's been pretty hot, to be honest. Sometimes it can get into the 30s, like well into the 30s. At the same time, it's not as hot or humid as it would be in like Toronto. It's definitely a little cooler, but I'm telling you, you can't beat Nova Scotia and Halifax in the summer. When you got a perfect beach day, and they do happen, beaches like this are just like a pure dream, guys. It's amazing.
So we've come to a few beaches now in the winter time. We were in Lawrencetown a couple of weeks ago, which isn't too far from here. And then we did some shore beaches, I think, not too long ago. This is definitely the busiest beach. I see one person that way and like 3 people that way and maybe a few more off in the distance.
The last thing we need to mention is our airport. Now, we are normally traveling the world. We've been to close to 50 countries, and airports excite us when we can actually use them.
I know, we love our airport. It's been so long. Every time you drive by, I actually want to cry, basically.
If you're wondering what we mean, we're not just fans of the airport. It's the location of Halifax in general. You guys, a lot of people don't know this. We are about a 5-hour flight away from the UK in Europe.
And typically there would be direct flights.
And we're also a 5-hour-ish, if there's a direct flight, maybe even closer, to the Caribbean. So we are in an absolute great location here.
Yeah, we're also only 2 hours from New York, and there are direct flights. 2 hours from Toronto, an hour and a half from Boston, maybe even less than that, in Montreal. So yeah, not a bad location in terms of getting to the airport and getting to the rest of the world.
So yeah, if you're going to be traveling a lot, this is a great city and area to be based out of. It's really convenient. But that's going to do it for the video today, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. If you got this far, And we're going to thank you right now if you got this far. My name is Trevor. This is Anna. We are the Delightful Travelers. As a reminder, make sure to hit subscribe. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of the video and just Halifax and Nova Scotia in general.
Yeah, let us know if you learned anything that you didn't know already about Halifax.
Yeah, so we got lots more coming up on Nova Scotia and Halifax as well. But today we're just going to sign off. And thank you guys for watching once again.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Halifax and Nova Scotia, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.